Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in Wilmington, North Carolina, visiting Parkway Subaru. And I'm checking out a 2017 Subaru WRX STI. Super sporty vehicle. Lots of cool stuff to show off. So let's get started. Looking at it from the side, you'll notice it has 18-inch BBS forged alloy wheels. It also has a Brembo Performance four-wheel disc brake system. The name of this color is Crystal Black Silica, and you can actually see some of the metal flakes shining through, popping through the paint there. It does have a little bit of dust on it, but it still looks amazing. So here in the front, you have the STI badging in red here in the grille. You have the nice blue Subaru emblem there. The headlights are powered by HID bulbs. You even have an LED accent around the outside. And for the high beams, it's a reflector system with a halogen bulb. And then your fog light down here is powered by a halogen bulb with a reflector system. Now this vehicle has a turbocharged engine with an intercooler, and you have a functional hood scoop here, which scoops air and forces it through the intercooler for better cooling, especially at higher speeds. So this is what the key looks like. It's just a little proximity key here. It does have the lock button, the unlock button, which is this blue oval here, and then your ability to open up your trunk is here, and you have a panic button. There's your back side. You also have a physical key in the inside just in case you need it. So let's go ahead and push the panic button and see what happens. Well, it beeps the horn and flashes the lights. So as long as you have this key with you, it can be in your pocket or your purse. As long as it's near the vehicle, it's a proximity key, so it has to be within a certain distance from the vehicle. So to lock the doors, you just place your finger here. It will lock the doors. So now it's unlocked. I'll demonstrate that by moving the back handle. To unlock it, all you have to do on the front doors is put your hand behind the handle, and it senses your hand. It also senses the key and allows you in the vehicle. Okay, here's the inside of the passenger door, and it looks really good. The first thing I notice is this contrast stitching, the red contrast stitching here, all soft to the touch around your arm here, which is looking awesome. You also have like a granite metallic accent there around the controls. Storage pocket there at the bottom. You have a 440 watt Harman Kardon sound system. There's one of the speakers there in the door. Here's your threshold. It even has the STI badging in the threshold as well. And in the floor mat, the seats are spectacularly comfortable. They have a nice sporty bolster, but they're not too intrusive on your body. They are heated leather seats with the perforations there in the center. Then you have the red accents as well as the contrast stitching in red. Even has an STI name in the headrest as well. Plenty of leg room. Now you have an accent here that resembles carbon fiber. You have a lockable glove compartment, and it's all smooth plastic on the inside, so help keep it clean. Take a look in the back. Here's the inside of the back door. You have that same contrast stitching styling, soft to the touch features there as well. Now you have a nice bench seat, so you can have 3 passengers back here. And it has that same contrast stitching, red embellishments, and the perforated leather seats as well. And the leg room is very good here on the sides. You can see the floorboard goes way down in there, so your knees are not sticking up in the air. Now the driver's seat is all the way back, so you can see still plenty of leg room, but even when you have the seat in the normal position like the passenger side, it's even better. You have some fold down cup holders there in the center. Now it does have a significant hump in the center, so the center passenger was either going to have to straddle that or be a smaller, like a child or something like that. So you have a lockable fuel door, and it's on the passenger side, so you can have the passenger pump the gas for you. So there's your cap. It has a little plastic tether here to keep you from losing it, and a little place over here to place it, keep it out of your way. Now it says premium unleaded fuel only, highly recommended. Okay, let's take a look at the back. Now you have a very prominent and obvious spoiler here on the back, and it looks really cool. It catches your eye. You can see it from a distance, and that's intended to create some downforce on the vehicle as you're going at high speeds, and it just looks awesome. Okay, so back here you have dual exhaust as well. Speaking of looking awesome, you have the quad exhaust, two pipes on each side, which is looking good. STI badging. You also have a backup camera as well. So opening up the trunk, you can use the key. There's a button on the inside, or there's a little button right under here. You just push that, pops open for you. You want to, since it has a heavy spoiler, you want to slowly lift it up and not swing it up. So here's your cargo space, and man, look at that. It's very impressive. It goes in there quite a ways. A lot more than I thought it was going to have, actually. You have a subwoofer right in here. It's one of those free air style, and then your amplifier for your sound system, 440 watts. Okay, so back here you can see it goes all the way to the right and left. Now this one has the cargo mat, which is highly recommended, of course. So under here you have some little bit more storage space, as well as a tool there. You keep going, and there's your spare tire and tools there. Now the back seats will fold down to increase your cargo space, just in case you need it. Now it's a 60-40 split, so you can have a combination of cargo and passenger space when you need it. To start the vehicle, all you need is the key inside. You put your foot on the brake, foot on your clutch, all the way down. Make sure it's a neutral, I would recommend. And all you gotta do is just push this button. Here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. Now you can see the floor mats are hooked in place to keep them in place. You have the bright pedals with the aluminum accent for all of them, including your place to put your left foot, which is cool. So let's go ahead and take a look under the hood. So to open up the hood, there's a little latch here, quite a ways from the right side, from the emblem, from the center position, about right in here. You just reach into the bottom and push it to the left. You see it right there? And the hood basically lifts itself up. I mean, it's very easy to lift up. It holds itself up as well, and you can see that hood scoop, the end of it, and you can see what it goes into. There's your intercooler. So it kind of looks like a aluminum radiator, but actually there's no liquid inside, it's just air that's flowing through there. So this is a turbocharged engine, and turbos they use the exhaust pressure to force air into the intake. Now the exhaust is hot, so it's going to heat up the air, and hot air is not very good for combustion, or it's okay, but it's better to have cold air. So the intercooler will cool down the air before it actually gets in the engine. So the faster you go, the more air flows through that intercooler, and the cooler the air could actually be into the engine, which the oxygen molecules will be tighter, and you'll get a better combustion. So that's the whole idea behind it. Kind of a quick rundown. Now this has a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine, and it is a horizontally opposed 4-cylinder engine, meaning that 2 cylinders are flat facing to the right and 2 cylinders are facing to the left. So that gives it a lower center of gravity, and the intake is on the top, And the exhaust is on the bottom. You can see this one has an aluminum intake painted red, which is looking awesome. And the exhaust is on the bottom. The heads are actually on their side, so the exhaust is straight out of the bottom, so that way you can, you know, the heat is dissipated underneath the vehicle, which is fantastic. Okay, let's take a look at the driver's side door. It's just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. The front two power windows are one touch up and down, so you can see how fast they go here. And then your back windows, you do have to hold them. Power door locks, your side mirrors are adjusted here with this little joystick. You just turn it to pick a side. You have power adjustments here on the driver's seat. And really impressed with these seats as far as the comfort, and the styling is fantastic. Love it. So right in here, your blind spot monitoring system, you can turn on and turn off here. You can open up your trunk, and then you have a dimmer switch for your interior gauges. You also have the stability control, traction control. You can turn that off if you need to. You also have a tilt and telescoping steering column. So let's go ahead and see what the articulation looks like. There we go. Up, down, in and out, and then you lock it in place with that little lever.
Well, 0 to 60, I'm not sure how long that took. Not a lot of time.
Yeah.
That's gonna be your most economical drive, I guess, as far as fuel mileage. It's still fourth gear at 80, under 5,000 RPMs.
Wow, that's a lot of.
That was in
A lot
fourth.
of power.
We're fifth now at about 3,500 RPMs at 70 miles per hour. Not too many places where you can even put it in 6th gear. Yeah, technically we could.
You kind of have to be above 70.
Yeah, well, I mean, 70 miles per hour is 2,500 RPMs at 6th gear. That's pretty crazy. You could pretty much ride 80 in 4th gear and be in a safe zone. It's just good.
What's it red line at?
Miles per hour, I don't know. It's 7,000.
I mean, the RPM.
Well, it goes into 8,000 RPMs. It doesn't start until about almost 7,000 RPMs.
Wow.
But you'd have to be at about 120 miles per hour to even get close to there.
That's crazy.
I don't even think that would be there. They're not in 6th gear. Probably about 120 in 5th, maybe. Drop down to 5th. And blind spot monitoring.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a look on the inside. Now the seats are super comfortable. They have that sporty feel to them with nice bolstering without getting too, too tight on your body or anything, but very comfortable. I really like the position of the left foot right over here, and my knee room is fantastic. I was kind of surprised, but it has a lot of room for the legs and knees and everything. Okay, so let's go ahead and start here on the steering wheel. You have a leather wrap steering wheel, this flat bottom, metallic accent here with the red stitching on the inside, perforated leather here on the ends, and then the smooth leather, or more, I should say, it's more like a leather texturing, but it's not perforated on the top and bottom. And it's a good thickness too. It looks really good, and it has these bolsters here. Okay, so here on the right side is your cruise control. You turn it on and you can set your speeds and cancel it there. On the left side is your volume for your radio, change through your presets. Then you can change your audio source like AM, FM, things like that. Your voice recognition is here. Bluetooth audio controls are down here. You can go into certain menus on the screen using this button, and then there's a back button to go out of those menus. So down here, these buttons correspond with the screen between the gauges, which we'll get to in just a minute. Your windshield wiper controls are there on the right side. And on the left side is your headlight controls, your turn signal of course. But you have your fog light control here, and then your headlights, you have off, automatic, parking lights, and then there's your headlights, like so. Okay, so here's your gauges. I really like the red background is looking all awesome. You have your RPMs on the left side, as well as your engine coolant temperature there. On the right side is your speedometer. It goes up to 180, which is neat. And then you have your fuel gauge as well. But right there in the center, you have this screen, and you can see you have that miles per gallon meter at the top, and then just below that you see that it's a SI drive, which we'll get into a little bit more in a minute. There's a control for that. Basically, it's giving you a sharper curve as far as your acceleration curve, so you can set it to a sport or really sharp, or you can just have it normal, just kind of a intelligent automatic feature. And also right below that is your center differential, to where you can emphasize more traction and power to the front or the back wheels. So since it has the all-wheel drive system, you have maximum amount of traction when you take off. So you can, emphasize that more towards the front or back, just in case you need to. Or you can just have it automatic there in the center. But using these controls down here, the up and down, and I can kind of scroll through and get some more information. So I scroll down, and you can see it says pull and hold to switch for menu. So there's a menu system here. So I'm going to push that, so you can go into all your settings. We'll get out of that. Go down again is a blank screen. Down again is your time, your elapsed time, and then you have a digital speedometer, and then it goes back to your SI drive. I think the digital speedometer will be my default screen, but you can have that information there if you need it using these buttons here. Okay, so let's take a look at your center stack here. Now it's a dual screen system. You have your screen at the top, which gives you your outside temperature, a clock, and it even has your boost for your turbo system. So let's go ahead and kind of give it a little bit of gas so you can see what it looks like. Let me zoom in a little bit. And on the little left screen there, you have your climate controls, what your climate controls are doing. So you can actually scroll through and get more information on this screen using this little button right here. So you have this up and down button and an enter button. So I'm going to kind of scroll through here just to kind of show you. So let's go down, and this is where we can go into settings. Scrolling down again, you just get your emphasis on your clock mostly. Scrolling down again, this is your how many miles you have to get gas, and your average miles per gallon, and then a little real-time bar there. And then you have your what you've been getting as far as miles per gallon. On this screen you have a visual representation of your drive system, so that's pretty neat. So let's scroll down again. This is emphasis more on miles per gallon, and then your acceleration percent. Let's go ahead and see what that looks like. Then your average miles per gallon, and then your miles per gallon right there. So it's kind of different screens here, and then it goes back to your boost. So that's pretty cool. So I think that's where I'd keep that as my default spot there. Your four-way flashers are here, and here is your touchscreen radio. Now the touchscreen has the traditional volume knob and tune through the station. It even has a CD player. You have a micro SD card input as well right there. So let's go to the home button. That was the audio. So here's your home button. Very simple icons here to quickly go to. And we'll start with the map since that's on there first. We'll kind of zoom out and see where we're at. We're in Wilmington, North Carolina at Parkway Subaru. Kind of keep zooming out. So really that you can really get your bearings right there. So there's your ocean. There's down in Myrtle Beach area and Fayetteville. So the map actually looks pretty good. The resolution and the contrast ratio and all that stuff looks good. Okay, so let's go to home. Of course, you can set a destination and it'll tell you how to get there. There's your audio. You have your presets here on the left side, and then you have, you know, what's playing. Right now it's in satellite radio, but there's lots of different ways of playing music through the sound system. AM, FM, satellite radio. You even have AHA and Pandora as well. CD player, Bluetooth audio, USB, and you can a micro SD as well, and you could reorder these. So if you want the micro SD first, you can do that. Alright, let's go back home. So your phone, once you pair your phone, you'll have access to your recent calls in your phone book, and you can make calls just using your voice while you're driving. Then your apps, you can go into Subaru Starlink, which is an app that you actually install on your phone. And of course you have the internet radio systems there. Also Mirror Link, that's another app on your phone. And then of course there's this is information for, you know, your weather and yes, sports, but what's mostly useful is your weather and your fuel. Especially if you're in an area in which you're not familiar with, you can actually find the nearest gas station, or you can sort it by price if you really want to get, you know, get the cheapest fuel. Another thing is you can change the fuel type, so you can choose a premium fuel, make sure they have what you need when you get there. And then there's a whole bunch of settings so you can go into. That's pretty much endless splitting of screens there. And then you have these buttons here, your map and home, and then there's a quick access to the apps there. So you have these quick access buttons here on the side, as well as your info button right here to quickly get to. Alright. Okay, so down here is your climate control. It's a dual zone climate control. You can turn the dual feature on and off. You have the mode, which will tell you where the air, you know, you can tell it where you want the air to blow, and it'll tell you up at this little screen up here we saw before. So right now you can see it's recirculating air conditioning. The fan's on 2, and it's on low, and then you can see where the air is blowing. Okay, so your temperatures are controlled here, and then your fan speed is controlled here, and then your front and rear defrosters are here. Down here's a little storage pocket, 12-volt power supply in there as well, little rubber mat at the bottom. I really like this carbon fiber looking stuff. It doesn't feel like real carbon fiber, but it definitely looks neat. It's nice and smooth and glossy. Then you have the STI badging there. Okay, so this has a 6-speed manual transmission, so you can see it has the gears there on the top, showing you which way your gears are, and your reverse is all the way to the right and bottom. To get there to the reverse, you just have to push this up. So once you get over here, it won't go any further, but you pull that up, it goes a little bit further, and then you can go ahead and put it in reverse. So now we can check out the backup camera. So there's your guidelines there, and it's a little bit offset, but you can still see really well. It's a wide angle view lens, so it's distorted on the ends, but you get the idea. You can see really good all the way from the bumper to the sky. And the clutch is very smooth, simple. I mean, it's I drive a manual transmission every day, so I got in this vehicle, and you know, it was basically what I was familiar with, and it was just a smooth feeling clutch. Okay, so this is your drive control, your SI drive, and this is where you can set it to a sport or the sharp, super sharp control there. So when we turn this knob, it changes up here, so you can see. Goes there's your sharp, there's your sport mode, and then you push the big button in to go back to the automatic mode. That's your normal driving mode there. Less demand on the engine and everything when you're driving. And there's your center differential. That's where you can move it up and down. And then you can have the automatic feature there. So it can kind of do it for you. There's your cup holders. Your heated seat controls are here. You have a two-phase high and low. Your parking brake is here. So here's your armrest, and it's kind of far back, but look at this. You can push this button and it lifts up and comes forward a little bit and locks in place, so that way you can use it when you want to, or you can just kind of get it out of the way and push it down. Has a tiny bit of softness. It's not super soft, but it is it does give a little bit. But this also lifts up, and this is where you'll find your USB ports, your auxiliary input, and another 12-volt power supply.
Third at about
Wow.
60.
Okay, so up here is your rear view mirror, and it's an auto dimming rear view mirror with a digital compass there on the top right. And it does have the HomeLink garage door opener controls right here underneath on the bottom, and it's a nice big rear view mirror. I like that. Okay, so you have some LED illumination here. No, it doesn't look like LED. It's actually kind of a yellow color, so I'm assuming it's regular light bulbs. And you have an emergency button and information button, so you can call and get some help there. Alright, so right here, these controls are for your sunroof. So you have a sunshade covering up 100% of the light. You can open it up and let some light in. You can also vent it up and allow a little bit of air to flow through, or you can open it up and get a lot of air. Goes a little bit further back if you push the button again. And on a hot day like today with the sun shining, I'll just keep all the sun from shining in. Okay, so here's your visor, and it has a mirror and light. Same thing on the other side. Okay, so let's look in the back for visibility. See what it looks like back there. So not too bad. You have the headrest a little bit there in the way, but not that bad. You have plenty of glass. Very small C-pillars back there, so I mean they're not very small, but they're not really a big deal. It's to be expected. Love the seats. Okay, so there you have it. 2017 Subaru WRX STI at Parkway Subaru in Wilmington, North Carolina. So thank you for watching, and thank you to Parkway here in Wilmington for allowing me to show off an awesome vehicle, and I'll see you guys next time.
Now it's in a full turn too.